Welcome back to the FPL Wildcard Show. My name is Fernand.
I'm Brian.
G Money in the building.
Yay.
Let me tell you, do you know how long I've wanted to be on this show?
Really?
I sit down every week and watch you guys, and I'm telling you, I disagree with 99% of the things that you guys say. So this morning I said, like, you know what? I'm not going to allow those guys to have all the fun. Me, I'm coming to the wild card today. It's your Christmas present, by the way.
Wow.
Thanks.
What about you, bro?
Me, I'm happy to be here, spending the holidays with my wildcard family.
Hey.
And I see you guys even got space for Panda this time around.
Yeah, Bana.
You know Panda's an Arsenal fan, by the way.
No.
Yes.
Check him out.
Great way to start, man, for real, man.
So how have you guys been during the period?
Oh, man.
I've been chilling with my family, man.
I've been eating. I mean, when I put on this shirt like earlier, I don't remember it being so snug. You know what I mean? For real. But it's been a good Christmas, man, and you know we're getting into New Year's, and we have some great news as well. We have a brand partner on board with the Wildcard now. Shout out to fantasy44.com, and that's a great way where you can play FPL, Fantasy Premier League, and win money as well. We'll talk about that a little bit later on, man. But I'm so happy. Big up Fantasy 44. Boom.
Brayo.
Yeah.
We have to talk about now the Premier League being back.
Yes.
Forget about France. Forget about Mbappe. Forget about everything. Like you're back to...
You know, by the way, I was worried about this guy.
Why?
Because I was worried. I was thinking, now that the World Cup is over, he's invested so much energy in France. He's gonna be at work like, you know, I don't have no energy. Like you know, life is not the same as it was before the World Cup. We're finished with that now.
Yeah, we're finished with that.
Don't you think it's worse considering he's going from France, which is a very good team, to United?
You see, the good thing with United is there's the thrill of beating Liverpool, and then there's the disappointment of losing to a Brentford or something. So it keeps me on my toes.
You know what? Like a gym trainer. You know, you go to the gym, you can't just do weights every single time. You have to do weights, you have to do core, you have to do cardio. That's what being a Man United fan is like.
Yes.
It keeps you on your toes.
Any only source of excitement is beating Brentford.
No, we've beaten Liverpool. I think we've only lost one Big Six team this season.
So we've only won
so
2 games in this season.
No. That's stretching, man. That's stretching. But I get.
But football is back. Football is back, man. Interestingly, this is the first time in history. I mean, even apart from COVID, which was a global situation, but there's been a break in the season, and I don't know what that's gonna mean for the top four teams. Because you know, even during the COVID season, when we had the break and then it came back, there were some really funny results in that first couple round of matches. So I'm wondering if that's going to have a similar effect on the top 4 teams.
I think so. I think so. I really believe that the mid-table teams will cause upsets.
Right.
Yeah, and they will determine who will finish in the top 4.
And you know why I agree with that? Because, fam, those mid-table teams, they weren't getting no World Cup. Those guys were home with their families getting love and ready for the quote-unquote new season. Those guys were ready by now. You know what I mean?
I think we're going to see individuals prospering in this remaining part of the season because it all boils down to training, individual training with the team. There are those people who missed out on the World Cup. It's a good time to gel. I've seen clubs going on friendlies during this period, which is also good to keep that.
And losing.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot of clubs. Didn't United lose to Watford or something?
No, it was Rayo Vallecano. Yeah,
some funny
Rayo
team.
Vallecano,
We lost to Juventus.
And you drew with Luton.
Luton, you know. Fam, there's nothing good coming out of Luton. not even the road to London.
And for that reason alone, like there are people, the Arsenal fans, but you can answer this. The Arsenal fans who are like, shouldn't we be a bit scared? Should we be a bit cautious, especially with the Gabriel Jesus injury? And we need to buy
players.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I have a really funny theory about that, and you can jump in. It's like we went to the World Cup knowing that our squad was thin.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have the luxury of having this extensive starting 11 like, say, Man City, you know? So, you know, my biggest fear actually was Partey or Xhaka or one of them Lynch man
players,
there having a really bad World Cup and being injured. Because I think we have enough quality up front to sustain.
Okay.
And I think, and it could be wishful thinking, I hope we do get a striker during the January transfer window, but I think Nketiah is going to surprise guys.
Really?
I really do. I really think, and let me tell you something, right? It's like, even before we shot this today, right? I was watching an interview with Mikel Arteta when he sat down with Jamie Carragher.
Yeah.
And that interview there, he's, you know, Jamie Carragher said to him, you know, Jesus being injured is a big issue. There's something Arteta sees in Nketiah that maybe we've not had the chance to see because he's not really had a run of games. And think about it, the only other time he's had a run of games was at the end of last season. Yes. And how many goals did he score? He scored like, what, 4 and 5?
Yeah.
Or something like that.
He did.
So I could be wrong, but I genuinely think that Nketiah is going to surprise guys.
Wow.
Bro.
My thinking behind that is Arsenal are okay. You know, Saliba didn't get game time. Martinelli's back fit. Saka, as much as he played, he's back fit. And I really think, where I'll dispute with you is, I think Fabio Vieira, in case you guys don't get Murdic from Shakhtar Donetsk, Fabio Vieira will turn into a winger. And Martinelli will be your number 9.
In the center.
I think Arteta will take that risk in case the Nketiah thing doesn't work. Yeah.
I can see Martinelli playing through the center. I can see that.
Both of you guys are right, because in the same interview, Arteta talks about starting Gabi up front for now as we look for a striker. And also, he's praised Nketiah and talked about Nketiah being ready to step up to play for that game. It so happens the first fixture for Arsenal after the break is West Ham.
Right.
So that will be a good litmus paper to see how we are before actually go in and do what you guys do, where you're spending 80 million on a player just to figure out you don't need him.
I mean, it's so easy. And I can understand, like, you're so outnumbered on the wild card, by the way.
I am.
Like, you're so outnumbered. Like,
I was happy Eric was back, but then I was going again.
You know, I'm just sitting there thinking, we've spoken about Arsenal for like the last 5 minutes. Let's talk about the other top 4 teams, and how the break will affect them. And then, since my man's a United fan, let's talk about, you guys are 5th.
Yeah, we're 5th.
So we'll make a presidential pardon and discuss top 5 today. You get me? So we spoke about Arsenal. Take Arsenal out of the question. Man City. They had the most players at the World Cup.
Yes.
From their team, who won the World Cup? You had
Julian Alvarez
only. Right? He's come back as a World Cup winner.
Yeah.
You had the likes of Sterling there. You had
Laporte,
the likes of
Kyle Walker,
all these guys.
Cancelo.
Yeah.
Are they coming back disappointed, or are they coming back ready for the fight?
I think they're coming back ready.
I think so too.
Considering they beat Girona in the friendly and Haaland and De Bruyne on form, and then they win against Liverpool, as much as there were defensive issues because Ruben Diaz is injured. I think Haaland and De Bruyne will turn into a partnership, sort of like Man United '99, Andy Cole and Dwight York, to take them to the title.
Right. Yeah. Was it that game where Mahrez scored? Huh?
Yes. Against Liverpool, that first touch.
That first touch. Like, I think that, you know, you should actually have. You should actually have. You know, you have the golden boots. You have the golden gloves. We need a first touch award, because that first touch was silk, crazy, absolutely, man.
I have a tough question for you regarding to what you just said.
Right.
Compare that to the party goal or party goals. Versus Spurs and versus Nottingham.
Okay. See, the thing with the party goals that I would say, I think the Mahrez goal is more skillful than the party goals. And I'll tell you why. I think the party goals, you can tell this is something this man practices. Like, you see, like how you see this guy who plays for Aston Villa, Lewis.
Douglas
how he practices. You can see he just practices corners. You can see that that's something that Partey has really like, you know, there's a time when even Yaya Toure and Vieira, that was their thing. You get
Scholes.
me? Yeah, Scholes as well. You know. So for him, I think it's like, you know, it's his thing. What the thing about Mahrez is that touch you can't practice. You either have it
or you don't.
Or you don't. You know, we've seen so many ballers who can't do that.
Yeah.
So that touch, and to bring it in with the touch and then hit it, touch of the season, bro.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Right.
So, so Man City are coming back fighting.
True.
Yes.
United.
No.
Newcastle.
We'll get to United. We'll get there. Who's third? Newcastle.
Newcastle.
Let's talk about Newcastle.
Oh,
Brian.
Eddie Howe.
Yeah.
Contender for manager of the season so far. We don't know yet,
100%.
man. Contender. I look at that team and I think even without Isak, they could do well because Callum Wilson's there, Saint Maximan's there, Bruno Guimaraes is there, Miguel Almiron, who was on form just before the World Cup, is still there. Joe Linton has been transformed into one hell of a player. Like under Steve Bruce, Joe Linton was more like an Andy Carroll. Look at him right now. Jesus, madness.
I agree with you. The only thing I would say is that I think that I'd like to see how Newcastle react when they start to lose. You know, because it's like one of those ones where every team can have a run. And even Arsenal, you know, when we lost to United, it was like, yes, this is the beginning of the end. But they didn't. They picked up and they continued. I don't know. I think a lot of the energy that's coming out of Newcastle is just the fact that we're enjoying this, we're doing this.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're gonna be after 2 consecutive defeats, you know. So their project looks good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think the away games are what will affect them.
Right.
Because I look at St. James's Park and it's getting an atmosphere, just like the Emirates is right now. Yeah. There's an atmosphere building up there. So if they can kill the away games, they'll be good for top 4. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So number 4 now is Spurs.
Do we have to
let Venom lead on this because you know man am I gonna say you guys are Arsenal fans. So you but Venom, what do you think?
Okay. Spurs. Wow, Brian, they conceded a lot of goals. They've been conceding a lot of goals. So they need to work on that. Or rather, I hope they've worked on that. That's to Conte. Number 2, we have the likes of Kane and Son and Kulusevski and Richarlison, and all of them, what they have in common is injuries. Yeah. So hopefully they manage to just stay put through this part of the season.
Hopefully.
Anything?
No, for them. For them.
Oh, sorry, man.
Any signing that can improve them? Because in midfield, Bentancur and Højbjerg, I don't think they can carry them throughout all competitions.
With Spurs, it's more of these million players gelling together. Because remember,
the 4 players up front.
Because remember, they bought a lot of people in.
Yes, they did.
Yeah,
even Jed Spence, who hasn't played.
The likes of Bentancur, we've started to see him towards the end of the first half of the season. So I need to see how they gel well once they know. Because they have a winner in the name of a manager over there. They have key players. Perisic, World Cup, and you know. So I need to see them back together, but it will take time.
How do you think Romero and Lloris come back? Lloris after losing the final as much as he's the captain. And Romero winning now. Will he bring that mentality to this team?
Yeah, I think it does, especially to the back 4 or back 3.
Likes of Ben Davies and
I have a slightly different take on Spurs. You know, like how guys would say when you look at the World Cup, you look at Brazil, right?
Yeah.
And you say Brazil is a team that will score more than they concede. So the defensively is shaky, but these guys will score 10 and you'll score 6. You know, I look at Spurs as a kind of team that like. They make every game so hard to win, you know. Yeah. Like either they're coming from behind, or someone's equalized, or they're chasing the game, and somehow it's worked so far. I don't think that luck's gonna run that way for the rest of the season. I think for me, I don't see Spurs finishing top 4. I genuinely don't see Spurs finishing top 4. I think, and this is a wild take, but I genuinely believe that they're going to fall off. And I do believe that top 4, I do believe that United or Liverpool can sneak into the top 4.
Yeah.
At the expense of Spurs. And I'm genuinely saying that. That's like my honest opinion.
So top 6?
Top 6, yes.
Okay.
Oh, we'll at least send them to the Conference League or somewhere. is it called the Conference League? What's it called?
There's the Champions League Europe and then Conference League.
Useless.
CCW.
All right, special dispensation, Manchester United.
The big team, man. Guys, we are so happy. We are done with that number 7 drama. We now want to give it to João Felix. Eh?
Oh, yeah. No.
You guys are close to getting him.
No, but I'd prefer getting João Felix over Cody Gakpo. You know me. I prefer that experience.
So Gakpo had a good World Cup.
Yes, he did.
Yes.
3 goals for the Netherlands,
And also before the World Cup break, he scored against us as well, against Arsenal as well in the Europa League, right?
One of the key players in their team also.
What don't you like about him?
The fact that he's played in the Eredivisie. You see, even Anthony came from the Eredivisie, goal against Arsenal, goal against City, goal against Everton, then fell off. What if that happens with Gakpo? Scores 3 goals in his first 3 games, falls off. That's what I don't want. That's why I trust João Felix.
So wait. Let me try to understand something. You're willing to take a manager?
No, you're willing. Ten Hag is a certified winner.
But he's won the league that you don't rate.
Yeah,
like that makes no sense, bro.
But you see, he didn't need Anthony or Gakpo to win that league. You know, he didn't need the 2 of them.
Brian, I think you have all the evidence you need in what Jesus said about Gakpo scoring against Arsenal, because it shows that this guy clearly knows how.
But that's one game. You see, when he comes,
that's the best team.
Look at it this way.
Oh.
Ten Hag likes Rashford.
Okay.
Ten Hag's like
And it's giving him confidence.
Yeah, the issue with Rashford is we all know he's good off the left wing. But then when Martial is injured, he becomes our number 9.
Right.
So will Gakpo now have to eat bench when that happens? Because I'm pretty sure Gakpo won't start if Martial is fit. I'm so sure of that. Yeah.
But it doesn't matter anyway because Gakpo's going to Arsenal. Anyways.
and also, we're finishing top 4 or top 6?
We're finishing top 4. I think the fact that we have the Butcher in Lisandro and Champions League Varane will help solidify our defense. Yeah.
So
the Butcher
come back. Yeah.
The Butcher
must be like cutting beer short chops, short ribs. Lisandro Martinez. Listen, of course, this is the wild card. We are happy to announce that we do have a brand new brand partner with us, Fantasy44.com, and it's a way for you to make cash as you play FPL. You know, this show is all about FPL, and we are going to talk about FPL, but I want you to watch this. We'll be right back.
Good news for the FPL lovers. Now you can play fantasy football for cash. Log into Fantasy44.com. Select a match. Join a contest of your choice. Create your dream team with a maximum number of 7 players from each side. Choose your captain and vice captain. Select your bench players and submit. Start earning points once the real match kicks off. And stand a chance to win daily cash prizes. Only on Fantasy44.com.
All right, so that's all about Fantasy44.com. Amazing way for you to play fantasy, Premier League, and actually win at the same time. There's an iOS app available in the iOS App Store. And if you go to the Fantasy44 website, which is Fantasy44.com, you can download the Android app there as well. Now, it's a very simple, easy process to sign up. If you don't have a referral code, just skip that part, you know what I mean, and move on. Now, the thing about it is once you've signed up, and it's easy, the only thing you need is your phone number and your email address, right? Then you can just pick the football match that you want to join. Now, you'll see a whole list of games. And, for example, you know, the Premier League's back, you might see
Brentford Spurs.
Yes, for example. You might any of these games. You can now just choose a game that you want to construct your fantasy Premier League with. Now, all of these games have got different entry fees. So it might be 50 bob, might be 200 bob. But these guys are so good. They even give you the chance to practice for free.
Wow.
So before you even jump in the deep end, you can practice for free on Fantasy44.com now. Once you've picked your team of 11 players, 1 goalkeeper, 3 to 5 defenders, 3 to 5 midfielders, 3 to 4 forwards. Then you select your team, captain and vice captain. It's exactly the same
like FPL.
as you would do for the FPL, you know what I mean? Now, once you've done that, you choose your bench players, then you sit back, relax, and wait for the live match to start. Now, remember, the important thing about Fantasy44.com is that you are going up against people who play FPL just like you. You know, in FPL, for example, we have 50K that we're giving away at the end of the season. with fantasy44.com, you can win today as soon as the match is over. So that's the beautiful thing about just seeing how good you actually are at this FPL thing. I know you are going to absolutely kill. Yo, by the way, Fantasy Football 44, this guy is going to take your money every single week. So you can win cash, not just points, more bragging rights. And if your team has the highest points at the end of the match, you just walk away with the cash. Simple as that. The more you play, the more you learn, the more points you get. And also there's a leaderboard. So at the end of the season, the person who's at the top of the leaderboard is going to win 200,000 shillings.
Wow.
Someone at the top of the EPL leaderboard will win 200,000. So us guys, we're big. We're giving away 50. These guys are giving away 200. So check it out. Fantasy44.com, our brand new brand partners on the WildCard. And thank you very much for believing in us, man. And we're going to take this thing to the next level. So let's talk FPL. I don't know if you guys will ever invite me back for this show. But before we move on, let me ask you, how much points did you get in the last game week?
62, man.
62?
Yes.
Went with 50.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought I was doing badly. I got 51. 50. I know. Obviously, some changes had to be made in my team. Jesus is gone.
Oh, yeah.
We have no loyalty in FPL. Love you as an individual, love you as a player. But you're injured. Points. You have no use for me. So Jesus is gone. And Nketiah, like I mentioned earlier, Nketiah's into my team. I think he's going to do very well in his role. So my front three are Kane, Nketiah, and Haaland. So the main change, I think, is getting rid of Jesus and bringing in Nketiah. What about you?
Well, my front, I have a 3-5-2 formation, but my front two is a little bit suspect. If he beats the 262 cases, I hope Ivan Toney might still be playing Premier League.
By the way, what is happening? What is the latest? Do we know? Let me check it out.
Are yet to release a statement, though.
He's been given time to respond.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's my front two.
Well, hopefully the time to respond is till the end of the season.
Yeah, true that. My front two is Toney and Haaland. And then in midfield, De Bruyne, Rashford, Almiron, Martinelli, Trossard. And then in the back line is Trippier, Reece James, who is back, by the way, from injury, and man's like the future of France, William Saliba. Clean sheets, man. Clean sheets.
Okay. Regarding Saliba, what I can tell you is, in regards to game week 17, I don't think he'll play. Because France final... even if you check in FPL, most of the teams, players from Argentina, their personal reasons, will come back. I'd rather you get White instead, Benjamin White. Yeah. In my front three, I have Haaland, Wilson, and Darwin Núñez. Imagine, I'm taking faith in Darwin Núñez because
Eric went to the World Cup. Like there can be no other reason than that.
Wait, did you watch the Carabao Cup game against Liverpool and City?
Yes.
Did you see what Núñez was doing?
Yeah, I saw.
Nothing.
Wow.
Yeah, I saw.
Wow.
I saw. I also watched their previous games. And Núñez, even though he gets 2 million chances, he scored a couple of them. And this is a long-term investment for me. I'm buying him for the next, I don't know.
Needs a house.
I'm buying him for the long haul because, one, I can't afford Salah. Salah is too expensive to give you a goal every week. And he's cheap and his plays are forward and he also scores. And most of the Salah's goals and he probably gets you the assist, him with Trent and Robertson.
Okay.
So that's why I went with him. Haaland is Haaland. Of course, he's my captain. And who else? Wilson because of Newcastle.
Newcastle, okay.
Newcastle,
I see that.
He's their lead striker at the moment. Isak is still out. And also, he's been consistent in FPL with points.
Right.
And Newcastle also have good fixtures, except when they lose to Arsenal.
Let me ask you real quick before we wrap. If you had to give a piece of advice to someone who is like constructing their fantasy Premier League right now, as in today, someone who's maybe going to jump onto fantasy44.com, create a team and enter, what advice would you give to them now? Like, who should they be looking out for? And just that kind of overview.
You want to do this first?
Mine is pretty plain and simple. There's basics. You have to have Haaland, you have to have Rashford, you have to have Saka, you have to have De Bruyne. That's it.
That's it. Just 4 key players.
Those are the 4 key players, yeah.
For me, my FPL must-haves, especially right now, Haaland, KDB, James from Chelsea, and Martinelli or someone from Arsenal.
Right.
Yeah, Arsenal is winning the Premier League. You need to have those players in your team. Yeah. Number 2, patience, especially when your team is not performing. You really need to have patience.
Like United.
Yeah. For example, like this from United. I have Rashford on my team. And I've been patient with him, and I've gotten more than 50 points in the last 5 game weeks or 6 game weeks. So patience plays well. And also, number 3, learn to use the media as I always say, use the media as your snitch. Basically, what I mean is when you are selecting players, like right now, you're selecting players from your team, go to the various respective teams, see what they're talking about these players that you've selected. If they're gonna play, if they're injured, how are they right now in your team?
Right.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, listen, man. I think the only thing that I want this episode to be the most watched episode because I am on it. So smash the subscribe, the likes, the notifications. Write in the comment, G Money must be here every single week. Make me feel good about being on the wild card finally. And definitely make sure you go to fantasy44.com. Like I've said, you can get the app at the iOS store. You can download it from their website, fantasy44.com. Pick the football match you want to join. Select your public contest, or if you want to practice, you can practice as well. They all have different entry fees. And once you enter, remember, you stand a chance to win cash. That's the beautiful thing about the fantasy44.com. Also, once you get in, pick your team of 11 players. Goalkeepers, 1 goalkeeper, obviously. You can't have 3 goalkeepers. 1 goalkeeper, 3 to 5 defenders, 3 to 5 midfielders, and 3 to 5 forwards. And select your team's vice captain and captain. And these actually earn you extra points just like it does in the regular FPL. And also choose your bench players as well. Wait for that live match to start. Whatever match you choose, wait for it to start. Relax. And if you know what you're doing, by the end of that match, you could walk away with cash and the bragging rights. And I'm telling you, I don't know, even though us guys are now brand partners with fantasy44.com, I am looking to take their money.
Of course.
True.
So we will be creating our own leagues, and you can create your own private leagues there as well. It's such a great experience, man. The more you play, the more points you earn. And if at the end of the season, you are number 1 on the EPL leaderboard, you can walk away with 200,000.
200,000.
Amazing platform. Check it out. Get the app at the iOS store, or go to the website fantasy44.com and get the Android app. I think that's it. My name is G Money.
I'm Brian.
Venant over here.
And thank you very much. I've enjoyed it. Can I come back?
Yeah, of course.
No, if Arsenal win the league, yes.